Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The family of 16-year-old Desiree Childs is a step closer to justice in her murder, but today's court appearance by the man accused of being her killer leaves a lot of questions still unanswered. We're glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. It's the first court appearance in the shooting death of Desiree Childs, and we've learned that Kanique Lawrence, a convicted felon, was not even supposed to be in possession of a gun. Will Jones was in court today. Will, everyone's wondering what could possibly have led up to this shooting.
Kimberly and Devin, Desiree Child's family said from the start that this was a case of mistaken identity, but no mention today in the court who the suspect was intending to shoot. Investigators say this investigation is far from over.
Kanique Lawrence, a 32-year-old father of 5, is accused of taking someone else's child's life. 16-year-old Desiree Childs. Lawrence appeared in court via video late this morning in Pontiac on multiple felony charges, including open murder. Childs was shot and killed on October 28th, one bullet hitting her in the chest while she was walking near the intersection of South Johnson and Menominee in Pontiac. Childs was just blocks away from home.
Upon arrival, deputies observed a young female laying on Menominee Street. The female was unresponsive.
Witnesses directed police to a house on South Johnson where they saw the gunfire coming from, a home where Lawrence stays. Lawrence was later identified as the suspect. He has prior felony convictions in 2010 for 2 counts of armed robbery and in 2017 for receiving and concealing stolen property. Judge Bowie denying bond for Lawrence. Before going back to his cell, the defendant asking if he could attend his grandmother's funeral.
My grandmother just passed yesterday. I don't know when her funeral is going to be. It was possible I can go to that, like GPS tether or something just for the funeral.
Judge Bowie didn't permit that funeral request. Kanique Lawrence is due back in court later this month. We did reach out to Child's family today for comment about this arrest, but haven't heard back just yet. Kimberly?
And Will, you mentioned this case far from over. What are police saying about that tonight?
Well, detectives are actively looking into if there are any additional suspects in this case, and they're asking for anyone with any information to reach out. Sure. Kimberly?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Will.
The man who kidnapped and murdered Patrice Wilson outside Detroit Receiving Hospital was sentenced to decades in prison today, but not before the victim's family got the chance to confront him in court. Our Sean Lay was there. Sean joins us now. They did not hold back. Sean.
Devin, good way of putting it. I'm going to take you right inside this courtroom where it was packed with family members of Patrice Wilson, packed with extra security. You'll see that as well, and packed with so much emotion. Take a look.
I can say to you, I don't understand you. What kind of person are you? Where you come from? Who can even support you?
Pamela Golden, the grandmother of Patrice Wilson, speaking directly to Wilson's killer in court today, her then boyfriend Jameer Miller.
The hurt that you have caused for my family, you don't deserve. You need life. Forever.
But no life sentence for Miller in a plea deal. He says he is the one who wore a disguise, kidnapping Wilson in the DRC parking lot as she ended her shift. Her body later found in her SUV. Miller's attorney reading an apology from Miller.
I think about our last moment. It hurts so bad. I wish we could have put our mothers in this situation. I truly do.
You told what you loved her? How could you love a person and you took her life? How? Is that love? Is that really love? Why did you do this to my child? Why did you do this to my family? Why? Why? How would you like somebody to do that to your mama?
So much emotion in this case, so troubling. You saw the video there of the security camera video as well with Miller in the wig. 35 years, no fewer for Miller. He'll be 71 when he's eligible for any type of parole. Devin.
Yeah. All right, Sean.
About Clemens man becomes violent when a neighbor tells him he's breaking the rules by using a grill in the common area of their apartment complex. This was all captured on camera. The 2 men are seen hitting each other after the one in the lighter colored coat kicked over a small grill being used by Mark Wallace, who is in the darker colored coat. Wallace then pulled out a knife, stabbed the other man twice before also puncturing a tire on the man's moped. Mark Wallace is now in the Macomb County Jail, charged with assault with intent to murder. The victim's injuries are not life-threatening.
Still got a couple hours left to vote in some important local elections. Polls open at 7 a.m. You can vote through 8 p.m., so still just about 2 hours or so to go. One of the biggest races in Metro Detroit in Warren, where they're going to elect a new mayor for the first time since 2007. Of course, Jim Fouts unable to run because of term limits there. Voters there will also elect a new city council. Mayorships are up for grabs in Inkster, Westland, and East Point, where incumbent Monique Owens didn't make it past the primary as she awaits sentencing on a federal charge of making a false statement in a federal aid request. And there are also ballot issues being voted on today. Royal Oak looking at ranked choice voting. Recreational marijuana is on the ballot in Birmingham, Rochester, and Kego Harbor. Many more local races. You can find all the information and, in fact, find your precinct and the issues there at our website at clickondetroit.com.
Well, one of those national lists came out today, and Michigan represented itself remarkably well. U.S. News ranked the best places in the U.S. to retire, and the list is not dominated by Florida and southern cities. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney is here to tell us why Michigan is actually a hit with a lot of retirees. Rod.
Yeah, you know, Kimberly, it's one of those things where attainable housing is kind of important to people, especially on a fixed income. U.S. News goes out, they interview 3,500 people, retirees or prospective retirees, to find out what it is that they need and want in retirement. And every year they come out with their list. It's very popular. And this is the list for 2024. Michigan had 6 cities in the top 75. When you think retirement, do you think Pennsylvania first? You might consider it, as the top 5 cities on the list are Harrisburg, Reading, Lancaster, Scranton, and Allentown. They scored well with the kinds of things like 57-year-old Livonia cycling enthusiast Dan Foster told us he needs in retirement.
I have somewhat limited resources, so I can't live in too expensive of an area. Nice near nature, like bike paths, hiking trails. I do like an urban area like Detroit. It's fun to ride a bike in, so it wouldn't be too bad around here.
Ann Arbor came in at number 11. U.S. News' Beverly Harzog says the popular college town really fits their bill.
Ann Arbor is a fairly affordable place to live. Plus, excellent health care is nearby, and that was also very important for retirees this year.
And there are a lot of other things retirees want, like low crime and high quality of life, and if they so desire or need to.
And Ann Arbor offers, a good job market for retirees. So that is one thing that attracts them. And in spite of being cold too, there are a lot of outdoor activities, and retirees do like to stay active.
Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit, and Kalamazoo made it into the top 75.
Some of these areas are nice to live in because our temperature is moderate here. We don't have to worry about what they do down south with the weather and the hurricanes so much. So not surprised at all, no.
Now, Lansing, according to the U.S. Census, is the fastest growing city in the state of Michigan, and you would imagine that its proximity to Michigan State University and also the outdoor activities, it makes it very much like Ann Arbor, so that's why that city all of a sudden is popping up on a list like this. We have linked to the entire U.S. News list on clickondetroit.com so you can get a look at it. Back to you.
Really nice. So, Rod, what is it about this particular list that makes it so popular?
Well, it is actually a good guide. It's interactive. You can go in and look at things, but you can also compare, like, say you've decided on, say Tampa, Florida, which was on that list, and it was in the top 15. And it turns out that there are 7 Pennsylvania cities that came in at better. And so you can go and look at those and assess whether you'd think that maybe somewhere in Pennsylvania might be better than moving to Tampa.
Yeah, compare them. Okay, very cool. Rod, we appreciate it.
A freighter is stuck in the middle of the St. Clair River. The 617-foot American Courage was hauling 20,000 tons of stone when it ran aground this morning near Marine City. No one's been hurt, no injuries reported at least yet. Coast Guard tells us shipping lanes are still open in the river. Authorities say they are working with the ship's owner, which is Grand River Navigation, as they try to safely refloat the vessel. We'll keep following it.
All right, let's follow our forecast now. Not too bad of a day today on a Tuesday. Yeah, let's check in with Kim.
We've definitely had worse election days with rain and snow and all kinds of weather, but it's dry tonight. It's chilly, though. 45 in Pontiac, 44 in Mount Clemens, 50 downtown, upper 40s now at the airport. It is cooler than it was yesterday by 15 degrees at the airport. Also 15 degrees cooler in Pontiac and 17 degrees cooler right now than it was at this same time yesterday. So definitely trending cooler for the next couple of days. In fact, tomorrow we don't even crack the 50-degree mark. We start the day with lots of clouds, and then in the afternoon we'll bring in a few scattered showers. The heaviest rain comes tomorrow evening and overnight tomorrow night, but we'll still have a few scattered showers throughout the day, and it will be chilly with a high of only 47. You know, it's Tuesday. We should take a look at the weekend forecast, don't you think? I'll do that coming up.